Hey, 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 Nikki Brown here. No matter where you are, what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. So I just wanted to I'm saying I'm gonna be quick, but my intention is for this to be a quick video. So it amazes me when we are out and about and we pass by other human beings or come in contact with other human beings and they don't say hello, right? I know people have been hurt. I know people have been burned. I know people have been attacked. But what happened to common courtesy and respect for your fellow man? So I deliver a package, right? The lady comes out of her house, grabs the package. She didn't say hello. She didn't say thank you. She just went back in the house with the package and shut the door. Now I was walking away. But most people say hi. And it's funny because the neighborhood that I work in is mixed. But the people who are my color are usually the rudest, right? And the people who are not. And that's not to say that both aren't guilty of it, right? However, either they wait until I at least if they don't want to speak, they at least usually wait till I get back in the van and pull off, right? But the ones who open the door usually at least say hello or thank you or something. Then later on, I go into a Chick-fil-A. And I don't know if I'm making a big deal about it, but I'm very big on men holding the door for women. So if I walk through a door and the man does not, there's a man on the other side and he does not attempt to open the door, I don't like it. So sometimes I may still hold the door open if I've already opened it, just to be respectful. Sometimes I'll wait for them to go by me and they let them open the door. But if I come through the door and you just stand and the man just stands there, I don't like it. So when I got to the other side of the door, I was being a little petty. I'm going to admit it. I was being a little petty. I let the door close behind me and then I just stood there and I was downloading the Chick-fil-A app on my phone. So I stood there and then the guy finally said, "Excuse me," and said, "Oh, okay." I don't know why. I think after the lady didn't speak, I just felt like I needed some type of acknowledgement. Like, why do we walk around and think that it's okay to not be polite to one another? I don't understand it. Was I wrong? Probably. Like I said, I was being a little petty. Just a little bit. But I just felt like, how dare you see me walk through this door and not open it and just stand there and just stare at me. So since you pretended that I wasn't there, I'm going to pretend that you aren't there. And again, it was a little petty. And I normally don't do that. But I wasn't doing it from a malicious place. I was really doing it because I just don't understand. Did it hurt you to excuse yourself? Would it have hurt you to open the door? Would it have hurt this woman to say hello or thank you? What happened to common courtesy? I remember once, a few years ago, I was driving for Uber and I come pick this young lady up. Now, in her driveway, it was early in the morning, and people were on their way to work. And I didn't want to block anybody in, so I parked closer to the end of the driveway. So her door was maybe 10, 15 feet away, right? So she, with an attitude, she comes to the car. And like I said, there were people leaving out, so I didn't want to block them in. There were at least 2 cars on the opposite side of her parking lot that were leaving. So again, I pulled up a little bit further so that I wouldn't be blocking them in. So she comes to the car and she goes like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but something along the lines of, like, my door is down here. You didn't park in front of my door. Now, I'm thinking she's ready. She's not ready. So she goes back to the house. She gets her bag. She puts her purse on the trunk of a car. And then she finally comes. And she's still calling me. And then she calls, or maybe she called me before that. And she wants to talk about, like, me being 10, 15 feet away from her door, basically. And that I didn't call her before I got there. But Uber drivers normally don't do that. Like, you requested an Uber. It's an Uber app, right? And so the app tells you when the driver gets there. So she has, now she, so that's what happened when I first got there. She said, oh, you didn't call me to tell you that I was there. And I'm like, I'm not required to do that. So again, she closed the door. She got an attitude. She went back to the house. She got her bag. She comes back to the car. She came to the car at least 2 or 3 times, right? So when she gets in the car, and I'm like, hello, and she didn't say anything. So I probably said hello 2 or 3 more times. She goes, you're just the driver. I don't have to speak to you. And I said, honey, this is my car. And you got in my car, and you're not going to sit in my car and not speak to me. If you don't want to speak to me, you can get out and you can request another Uber driver. So by then, she's already, you know, she's playing around, not ready, probably mad about something else. And now she's late for work. So she tried to blame it on me that she was late for work. And she reported me to Uber, which they basically tell you, you know, be mindful. And I reported her as well, though, because she was very nasty. And like I said, I started to put her out of my car. Because she just wanted to go back and forth about why I didn't call her and why I was 10 to 15 feet away from her door. And, you know, I had waited for her for so long. Like, I waited for her longer than I was supposed to. And I think that's another reason why she kept coming back and forth to the car. Because it was taking her a long time to come to the car. So I think the wait time is 5 minutes. I probably waited for her for 10 or 15 minutes. And then I think she tried to cancel the ride when I dropped her off at her destination, but she couldn't cancel it. There was a lot going on with that situation. But anyway, the fact that she said, you're just a driver. So people think that you're beneath them if you do certain things, or if you don't have a certain income, or if you don't drive a certain kind of car. And I think that that's unfortunate to have that mentality, right? So because I'm delivering packages, right? You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've done. You don't know what I've experienced. You don't know what I've learned or anything. But because you see me delivering packages, you just assume, oh, I don't have to speak to this person. Well, this person is beneath me. Or because of what I've been through with other people, I'm just not going to speak to anybody. Whatever the mentality is, it's not right. Nobody's beneath anybody, regardless of how much money they make, regardless of what kind of car they drive, regardless of what type of home they live in or don't live in. And I think that is one of society's biggest problems. The way we treat one another. And some of these same people want to preach to you about what is right or wrong, yet they have no integrity. They don't practice what they preach. They're not taking the advice that they're giving. or suggesting that you do. It's not a big deal. But again, it just amazes me how rude society has become and how people think that, you know, someone's financial status or job function or whatever it is makes them, or whatever title, whatever it is, makes them better than somebody else, but it does not. We all go into the same place when we transition. We all have to abide by the same laws of the universe. Whether you say you reap what you sow, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, karma, whatever you want to call it. And again, I may get some karma for being petty. But I wasn't really doing it, like I said, from a malicious place. So that does make a difference too. But I may have to get that lesson back. I may be distracted or busy, and I may walk past somebody and not speak to. But usually with me, it's not intentional. But when it's intentional, anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And I hope that, I know some people are going to get mad. Oh, I don't have to speak to anybody. I remember a cashier. Was it a cashier? I don't remember. I think it was a cashier. I said hello to her probably 3 times. And she said, you can't make me speak to you. Why are you in customer service then? And why does it seem like certain nationalities, they get the, oh, hi, how you doing? And they get this great conversation. And then when they see someone of another nationality come up, they don't say anything. They look down. They'll just scan your stuff and tell you the total. Or they may say nothing at all, like, oh, you see what the total is. And what I usually do is say, hello, how are you? And then they'll say hello, and then they'll smile. I don't like to use the term right or wrong, but people know the difference between right and wrong. I don't care what my hair looks like, if I have makeup on. I shouldn't have to be dolled up for you to see that I'm a woman and I should be treated with respect. Regardless of man or woman, people should be treated with respect. So I need to delete some things from my phone because I just got a message about low storage. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the video here. But I think we need to do better as a society because certain things just don't make sense. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. And if you know something was done to you and you didn't like it, don't do it. Love y'all. Later. Mwah.